Hey guys, it's Tealus here. Welcome to the beautiful setting of True Shot Lodge. This is the class order hall for hunters in World of Warcraft Legion. As I've mentioned many times in several of these videos, World of Warcraft Legion is bringing back darker nights, and you can see it in High Mountain here. This is really beautiful. You can see just how dark it is out here. And basically, True Shot Lodge is up inside High Mountain, which is one of the brand new zones in World of Warcraft Legion. So it's just sitting up here really high, and you can just see how dark things have gotten. The only light that's coming is from that constellation type thing going across the sky there, and then all the campfires around here. There's a really cool class order hall. It's just a small lodge, very similar to the one like the one that was in Loch Modan for the dwarves, and then surrounding it is just a bunch of campfires and so forth. But I am here to bring you the first of any of the hunter specializations in a class overview series. We are looking at Beast Mastery Hunter this time around. As you can see, I'm rolling around with two pets this time, which is a cool new feature that will be coming in World of Warcraft Legion for Beast Mastery Hunter. In this video, we will be looking at the abilities and the artifact weapons for a Beast Mastery Hunter, and then in the second video of this two-video series, we will be looking at the PvP and PvE talents for a Beast Mastery Hunter in World of Warcraft Legion. So, let's go ahead and get into it. I will be first going with removed abilities, and then into changed abilities and new abilities, and then after that, we will take a look at the artifact weapon and what it provides, and then the next episode or video we will look into the PvE and PvP talents. So before we get started, I'll go ahead and show you Titan Strike right here, and it's a rifle. Looks really nice. It's got kind of a wolf, which plays into the fact that I have an extra wolf here, Hati, which I think is the brother of Skull. If you don't know what Skull is, Skull, Skoll. He is a spirit beast that you can tame as a hunter. He's been up in Northrend for a while. You get Hati in your little quest for Titan Strike, which is really cool. But let's go ahead and look into the removed abilities. I will tell you that Beast Mastery Hunters, hunters in general, have been given the same treatment as rogues. In fact, rogues and hunters are the two classes in World of Warcraft Legion that have all 6 of their specs have been completely overhauled and play very much different from how they play on live. If I had to take a wild guess as to which one plays the closest to the way it does on live, I'd probably say Assassination Rogue, and then the one that obviously plays the least to the way it does on live is going to be Survival Hunter when we get to it, because it is no longer a range spec, it is a melee spec. But that is for other videos. Let's go ahead and get into Beast Mastery Hunter. I'm doing this in a removed, changed, and new order in terms of how I'm giving you the info on abilities, and that is because I want you guys to see what has been stripped away, and then after that I will be able to show you what has been brought into the game. Now I do apologize, this is the only character that I will not be doing on a full level 110. I have 110 set up all on the PvP server. However, for some reason I cannot get to True Shot Lodge on the PvP server. I try and take the eagle over here, and then all of a sudden it says, you know, oh no, you're in an area that you shouldn't be, and it teleports me back to Dalaran, which is really irritating. So I'm very stubborn, and I really want to do all of these class videos in their order halls, and so as such I'm doing it here on a level 104 character. So there will be one ability in the that comes with Titan Strike, your artifact weapon, that I will not be able to show, but I should be able to show you everything else. If you see these little wisps above me, this is actually a broken, it's called the Nightglow Wisp. I believe it's a broken toy that's in the game, and these things spread like wildfire, and Blizzard hasn't figured out how to get rid of them, which is kind of funny. So those wisps, if you enter Dalaran on the PvE servers, they kind of jump all over the place, and it's kind of annoying. So if you see them pop up over my pets and myself, just kind of ignore them, and we'll just go ahead along with things. So Let's move into the removed abilities, and it's going to be really painful. You're going to start seeing what has been stripped. Now, I've been a pretty big defender of the pruning that Blizzard has done with many of the classes because they've done a very good job of integrating abilities with one another to make them, to make them interesting. So it's no longer just you have 3 damage abilities, they all do different types of damage, and you have a priority of which one does more damage, and so you kind of choose, hey, I want to do that ability more than I want to do this ability. That's an example I can give you is basically a kill shot versus arcane shot on live. You're like, I mean, sorry, not kill shot, kill command versus arcane shot versus, actually you could say kill shot in that as well, in which you're like, okay, all 3 of these deal damage. Which one is more important than the others? They've done a good job of getting rid of a lot of that and instead focusing on, okay, well, if you use this, then it activates this, but if you use this multiple times, it activates it. They do a lot of that. However, this is the first class out of the, I don't know how many I've done so far, 12 maybe, in which the first spec in which I feel they've over-gutted it, and I'm working online through forums, talking to Blizzard as best I can to bring back a few things to make it more to make it more fluid, because right now it's missing a little bit. And I believe it can be fixed by just making one of the talents baseline, which I will discuss in the next video. But if not, it may feel a little empty when you guys play Beast Mastery. However, the good news is that they have done a fantastic job of making Beast Mastery its own specialization, making it very unique and making it very focused on pet-centric abilities and pet attacks. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Removed abilities for a Beast Mastery Hunter. The first is going to be Arcane Shot. It is now a marks only ability. You no longer have access to it. Aspect of the Pact has been removed as well. It is gone. Camouflage has been removed. It is now a marks and survival only talent. They actually have to talent back into camouflage. It's no longer baseline. This is a huge loss for all PvP hunters. Deterrence has been removed across the board. It is no longer in the game, period, and that hurts. It hurts a lot, and there's very little to give back. It is one of the things that I'm kind of worried about for hunters. I will say how Beast Mastery hunters can kind of counter this, the fact that they don't have deterrence, but I will say that it really does hurt not having deterrence. Distracting Shot has been removed. I know some hunters really did like using that. I honestly never really found a use for it. Explosive Trap, Freezing Trap, and Ice Trap have all been removed from both Marks and Beast Mastery. It's now survival specific. Ice Trap actually doesn't exist in the game anymore. It's been replaced by something a little bit different. Still functions the same, but all 3 of those have been removed and are gone. Explosive Trap I can deal with. Freezing Trap I can deal with. Ice Trap I kind of feel has been iconic for a long time, and I feel like it should be there. Maybe that's something we can get back in return. I don't know. There's still a lot of negotiating and talking about what we can do to fix up Beast Mastery so it's not too crippled from the pruning that has occurred. So all 3 of your traps have been removed. Probably the biggest loss for a Beast Mastery Hunter is Focus Fire. Focus Fire has been removed, and let me tell you, I really don't care. Like, I hated Focus Fire and how it worked. Did not like it. So Frenzy has been removed as well. That worked with Focus Fire. It used to be a separate ability, and then they baked it into Focus Fire, I believe in the last expansion. Now it's all gone. Thankfully, I really did not care for that, and I'm personally glad it's gone. Kill Shot is gone. Kill Shot's gone from all 3 specs of Hunter. Blizzard really wanted to kind of give Execute back to only the... there's Skull, by the way, walking right in front of us. So if you don't know what Skull is, he's right there. Kill Shot, they really wanted to return Execute to basically being a warrior-only ability, and so that's what they did. Master's Call has been removed. It is now a survival PvP talent. This makes absolutely no sense to me. Master's Call really, to be honest, it makes sense for it to be baseline it makes sense for it to be baseline as a beast mastery hunter. It's master's call. It deals with your pet, and honestly, it should be there. And that's probably the number one thing that I am fighting for to bring back, because it really makes sense for it to be a just baseline ability for beast mastery hunters. You have Tranquilizing Shot that has been removed. This is big for me. I use Tranquilizing Shot a ton to strip buffs off of people. I used it all the time. It was very effective, and not having it really hurts. Trap Launcher has been removed. That's really, all the traps are gone anyway, so you don't need Trap Launcher anymore. So that's not really too big of a deal. Animal Handler has been removed. We're getting into the passives that have been removed. Cobra Strikes has been removed. Invigoration has been removed. I believe that was one of the passive abilities that just gave you a flat buff to a certain stat. That's really not that important anymore. They removed those across the board, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. And then True Shot Aura has been removed as well. So a lot has been stripped. By the way, True Shot Aura, same thing as Invigoration. Anything with like a passive buff to your class or raid-wide buff, it's been removed across the board. There's no longer having to buff yourself, which I'm thankful for. I used to play BGs, classes in BGs that I didn't have to buff myself just because it was irritating for me to buff myself every time we came out of the graveyard. So, as you can see, I'm sitting down. That's how long it took for me to go through all of the removed abilities. A lot has been gutted out of the Beast Mastery spec, and it kind of hurts. So, let's go ahead, and there are several new abilities. And it will kind of, when I get to the new abilities, it will kind of bring together. These changed abilities are going to be very confusing, and then when I get to the new abilities, it's really going to kind of bring everything together, and you're going to understand how this playstyle has changed. I am not kidding when they say that they have changed the playstyle, because basically every single hunter spec was you have an ability that generates, you have a shot, specifically I'm saying a shot, you have a shot that will generate focus, and then you have different abilities that will expend your focus, and that was basically the same thing across all the specs. It did not change. There was very little difference between the two. Now they've changed it so that it's a little bit different in how things work, and I really do like it. So let's look at the changed abilities. First is Bestial Wrath, or Bestial Wrath, however you pronounce it. I think it's spelled Bestial Wrath, so that's what I use. First off, pets will now deal 20% increased damage instead of 54 increased damage. So that's a big nerf in terms of Bestial Wrath. However, I do believe your artifact weapon has a buff in it in which both your main pet, my wolf over here, and Hati will also both Bestial Wrath will apply to both pets, so you'll have two pets with Bestial Wrath on it instead of just one, which will be kind of a big deal. The second part that has changed with Bestial Wrath, players deal 20% increased damage instead of 10%, so that has been buffed a little bit in compensation for the fact that the pets deal less damage. Now, a nerf here, though, while you've gotten buffed in your player damage, I say that's more to counter this nerf here, which is it no longer has a 50% focus cost reduction. It used to have that reduction in focus cost, so you didn't have to worry about focus that much. That has been removed. However, the last buff, so we're kind of trading off nerf buff, nerf buff. The last buff is that its cooldown is reduced by 15 seconds every time you use Dire Beast. Dire Beast sounds familiar. That's because it is a talent. It is now a baseline ability that we will get to later. But those are the four major points that have changed for Bestial Wrath. Now, before I go into the other stuff, I'm going to go ahead and attack this and show you what the new Bestial Wrath looks like. It's very nice. I love the updated spell visual for this. So now you glow orange. You glow orange when Bestial Wrath has been activated, and your pet glows orange as well. And unfortunately, since I'm wielding Titan Strike on a level 104 character that does not have all of the upgrades on it, Hati is not affected by Bestial Wrath, but once he does, he will glow orange as well, and so you'll have two pets that will deal increased damage and help you out. So, let's move on to the next major change. This is Cobra Shot. I go through these videos, and a lot of them have, changed abilities across the boards. The changed abilities for a Beastmaster Hunter are major changes, and they're really changing the playstyle. Cobra Shot no longer generates focus, so there's the big change right there. It costs 40 focus instead. This is your focus dump. As you can see, this is the first ability that I use, and it's your focus dump. It's what's going to use damage. Secondly, it now causes physical damage instead of nature. Now, Cobra Shot was originally supposed to be like a survival ability. Well, survival is no longer a ranged class, so Cobra Shot doesn't make any sense anymore. And it was all about nature survival used to be all about, using kind of nature damage and shadow damage. That's no longer the case anymore. Now, they have to kind of shift that. And so instead of getting rid of Cobra Shot or making Arcane Shot the same for both specs, they decided to just put Cobra Shot on a Beast Mastery Hunter and make it physical because it's a Cobra and you are the Beast Master, so you have the ability to launch Cobras easily at the target. You don't actually launch Cobras, but I'd like to think of it that way. One thing you may have noticed as I've been attacking is that Cobra Shot is instant cast, which is a huge buff. This is something that I asked them many times to do back in Warlords of Draenor. I said, if you actually want this to be a focus generator, it has to be instant cast. Well, that's no longer going to be the case anymore. It now costs focus, but it's going to be instant cast, and it's going to deal your damage. So that is a big change to Cobra Shot. So in review, Cobra Shot is now instant cast. It costs 40 focus instead of generating 40 focus, and it now is physical damage instead of nature damage. So that's a big change of how things are going to happen. And then when we get to the new abilities, you'll see how you're going to be generating your focus from here on out. Kill command is one of the more boring, changes, like it is in most videos of how changes are occurring. Kill command now costs only 30 focus instead of 40 focus, and its cooldown is increased by 1 second. Otherwise, kill command basically functions exactly how it does on live. So, with that being said, those are the three just major changes to Beast Mastery. It's kind of weird, but with all of those removed abilities and those three, really big changes, the spec has really kind of been blown up. Like, what do you actually use to generate focus now? Your what used to be your focus generator is now your damage dealer. So, let's look into the new abilities. First, let's look into the aspects that we are given. Aspects have been overhauled, and I basically, even though these are aspects that you recognize or may recognize from older expansions, they have new effects entirely. So first is Aspect of the Cheetah. An Aspect of the Cheetah increases your movement speed by 90% for 3 seconds, and then by 30% for another 9 seconds. So we'll go ahead and use this here. You'll see I'll move really fast, really quickly, and then it'll drop down to 30%, and then there. So that is an escape mechanism that you have gained, whereas you lost all of the other, tons of abilities. You have gained something in the form of Aspect of the Cheetah. Another that you have gained is Aspect of the Turtle. Deflects all attacks and reduces all damage you take by 30% for 8 seconds, but you cannot attack. So when it says deflects all attacks and reduces all damage you take by 30% for 8 seconds, basically your dot damage will still tick. Basically, when you think about this, this is your deterrence, okay? It's kind of back in there. You no longer have the same spell visual, but it's there. The cool thing is that you can plop your pets on target, have them attack, and then you can pop Aspect of Turtle, and while you cannot attack, your pets can still deal damage, and pets are a significant portion of your damage. So, in one way you could say Deterrence basically has a new spell visual, new name, but in another way you could say that Deterrence is gone, and now Aspect of the Turtle is a brand new ability. With that being said, we have the third of the aspects that is coming, and that is Aspect of the Wild. This one is very specific to Beastmaster Hunters, and it grants you and your pet 10 focus per 1 second, and 10% increased critical strike chance on all attacks for 10 seconds. I believe this is exclusive towards... Yes, this is exclusive towards Beast Mastery Hunter. So Aspect of the Wild actually used to be an aspect a while ago. I believe it reduced the amount of nature damage you took or something. That's no longer the case. So it grants you and your pet 10 focus per 1 second and 10% increased critical strike chance. Go ahead and attack, and I'll use it right here. See right there, I believe the effect is even the same as it used to be. Just a big leaf appears above you, and then you have the buff for 10 seconds. So it is a nice ability to have. I need to cancel out combat here. Hottie really is eager for combat. He likes to jump right back in there right away. So let's move on to this next ability, and this is really the most important ability. This is the one that's going to fill out Beast Mastery and explain everything, and that is Dire Beast. Dire Beast is now baseline. Let's just go ahead and read this off. You summon a powerful wild beast to attack your target for 8 seconds. Generates 12 focus over its duration. So over 8 seconds you will generate 12 focus. Now, the big deal about this is first, comparing to the old Dire Beast that was in the talent tree. The old Dire Beast that was in the talent tree had like a 30-second cooldown. It was like a boost to your, it was a boost to your focus generation, but it wasn't necessarily like something that you can consistently rely on for focus generation. This is something you can consistently rely on for focus generation. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. And you can see my wolf. I don't know how in blazes he jumped up there, but he's up there. So my wolf's up there, and Hottie's down below. And I'm going to go ahead and use Dire Beast. And another pet is going to join the battle. So I have another pet in there. So now I have 3 pets attacking. And here again, I have 4 pets attacking. And those pets will stay for their full 8-second duration, and then they will deal. And as you notice, it summons random pets. I had a hawk at first, and now it looks like I have a shovel tusk. I can't remember their names. I think that's what they were called back in Northrend. So that is what the new Dire Beast is, and that's how you're going to generate. There's a big panther right there. That's how you're going to generate your focus. And I honestly like this because it's really annoying. It's really annoying to have all of these pets on a target. And when you think about it, I basically explained all of the main abilities that come with a Beast Mastery Hunter. Yes, it is kind of barren. You know, you basically have 3 abilities, and that's why I'm trying to work towards Blizzard to kind of fill it out more and make it better. But you are going to be able, as a Beast Mastery Hunter, be a completely mobile ranged assassin. Okay? I haven't been able to do this properly since Wrath of the Lich King. I had an aim shot survival combo that was really difficult to handle, and basically I was completely mobile. I never had to stop and stand still for any reason whatsoever. So while I have lost a lot, I've lost my traps, I've lost many ways for me to get out of damage. In return, I never have to stop moving. So if you are in PvP, you can constantly be this mobile attack threat that never has to stop moving and can continue to attack no matter what. There's no one who can stop you. There's no reason for them to stop you. You can use Concussive Shot to keep them away, and you can keep summoning beasts on them. And that's where Beast Mastery Hunter will start to shine. It does need a few things to fill out and round things out. Once again, I'll get to that in the talent section, but for the most part, that is kind of one of the things that makes me excited about Beast Mastery Hunter, is that, you know, actually the beasts matter this time. Before, I used to be irritated. I used to see my pet as a hindrance, and I loved it when Lone Wolf came out, because I didn't have to worry about it anymore. And then I kind of avoided Beast Mastery because I wanted to have Lone Wolf. Now I'm perfectly happy to have Beast Mastery because I'm able to sick several pets on a target at the same time and, you know, actually deal some serious damage. So there are still 3 actually new abilities to look at. They don't really affect as much as the others. First is the fact that you have a pet utility, it's called Pet Utility, which is basically a cleanup of your spell book. Okay, so as you can see on the right hand here, I'm gonna click it several times so you can see where I'm clicking. On the right hand side here, it is kind of a dropout menu that gives you everything. It gives you Tame Beast, your Mend Pet, your Feed Pet, your Dismiss Pet, and your Beast Lore. It's all located here in one nice little dropout menu. So basically that's just a spellbook cleanup. There is Exhilaration. Exhilaration used to be a talent. Now it is baseline. So another ability that is coming in there to kind of replace the fact that you no longer have you no longer have deterrence, you no longer have your traps, you now have Exhilaration. So when you look at things as a whole, you lost camouflage, you lost deterrence, sort of. If you count aspect of the turtle, you didn't really lose that. and you lost 3 traps. Explosive trap, which you could use as a knockback, freezing trap, and ice trap. And in return, you got exhilaration and aspect of the cheetah to compensate for that if you consider aspect of the turtle as your compensation for deterrence. So I would say it's a net loss, but it's not, too bleak. You haven't lost, you're not completely gutted. If I can just get Master's Callback, for some reason on the PvE realms, it likes to cut me out, and it's frustrating. Hopefully I can get back in real quick here. Um, with Master's Call is the only ability that I would like to have back, and then I will feel perfectly fine with Beast Mastery Hunter. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and um, take a look at the artifact weapon and what the artifact weapon will bring to a Beast Mastery Hunter in World of Warcraft Legion. So, as I said, the artifact weapon for a hunter is Titan Strike, as you can see here. Now this time I'm going to be able to show you this. You're going to be able to see just how much these cost and how this kind of builds up, unlike the other videos in which I already have everything built up. Once again, you start here, and that's where you get Hati. Hati will now fight for you as a passive. Now most of the time this is an actual active ability. In this case it will be, that's not the case. It's just a passive. You actually get an active ability somewhere else. So that's something that you're going to have to, adapt to a little bit. But your first one here is Hati's Bond. Hati will now fight for you as a companion. And then your first one that you'll get here is Beastmaster. Increases the damage dealt by your dire beast by 10%. So, with that, with this starting one, I'm going to go from the southwest all the way to the northeast, and we'll just build our way up. So we have Focus of the Titans, increases the damage dealt by multi-shot by 5%, 3 stacks, so that'll be 15% overall. We have Splitting Cobras, increases the damage dealt by Cobra Shot by 3%, once again 3 stacks, so that'll go up to, either 3% or 10%. My guess is 10%. I have not seen any 9% at all, and usually when it's triple ranks, it goes up to 10%. We have, up here we have Mimiron's Shell. Active aspect of the turtle also heals you for 10% of your maximum health over its duration, 3 times, so 30% of your maximum health. That's like better than deterrence. So the problem here is the cooldown. Is Aspect of the Wild is a 2-minute cooldown. I can't quite remember what the cooldown was on deterrence. I remember it being something shorter, like a minute or something like that, maybe even shorter. It's a 2-minute cooldown, but you also get a 30% heal out of it now. There's Spirit Bond. Kill Command heals you for 15% of the damage it deals, so you get some healing out of your Kill Command. When you actually get, I think, fully buffed throughout Titan Strike, we'll take a look as we get through this, both pets will actually deal Kill Command, so that's double Kill Command damage that you will get for healing. And then the third one here is Natural Reflexes. Increases you and your pet's dodge chance by 2%, 3 ranks, so that'll be 6% total. Here we have Hunter's Advantage. When you use Misdirection on your pet takes 35% less damage for 8 seconds. This I don't really like. This is more of a PvE type of thing. And specifically it would be like an open world PvE type of thing. So I really don't like this talent. I kind of wish it was replaced with something else. In the middle here we have the first of our 3 epic ones. We have Master of Beasts. Hati also benefits from Bestial Wrath and Beast Cleave and deals damage from Kill Command. So this is the big one you want for Hati, your second pet, to be dealing extra damage with everyone else. Up here we have Jaws of Thunder. Kill Command has a 5% chance, ranked 1 of 3, so up to 15% chance to deal an additional 50% of its damage as nature damage. So, consider Kill Command. You will have a 15% chance per both Kill Commands, both Hati and your regular pet, to deal an additional 50% nature damage. When all of that is stacked together, would heal you for 15% of the damage it deals. So that's pretty good synergy, pulling it all together. Here we have the second of the epic abilities. We have Titan's Thunder. This is your actual ability. Unlike all the others in which you get your ability at the very beginning, you get it all the way up here with Titan's Thunder. You discharge a massive jolt of electricity from Titan Strike into all your pets and dire beasts causing them to deal 8,000 nature damage to their target every 1 second for every 8 seconds. So, if I'm able to get up to, 4 dire beasts on a target and start dealing some serious damage, that's, I can go ahead and pop Titan's Thunder, and then all of a sudden these pets will start dealing extra damage. Now, I'm sorry that I cannot tell you what it is. If you look over here, the orange glow of Bestial Wrath, what it's going to look like, it's going to look exactly like that, except for it will be a blue glow around yourself. So that's how you will know that Titan's Thunder is active. And what will happen is kind of a lightning chain will arc out of your pets to the target. That is a spell of visual effect for Titan Strike. I apologize, I cannot show that to you. My stubbornness of wanting to do this video at True Shot Lodge, and the fact that I can't get there on the 110 realms is the dilemma that I face from showing you this. But that is what it will look like. Little arcs of lightning coming out of your pets hitting the target, and you yourself will glow blue very much in the same way that you glow orange for Bestial Wrath. Here we have Wilderness Expert, 3 ranks, increases the duration of Aspect of the Wild by 1 second, so up to 3 seconds. Furious Swipes increases the damage dealt by Beast Cleave by 10%, 3 ranks, so up to 30%. We have Unleash the Beast. Bestial Wrath increases damage you and your pet deal by an additional 2%. Once again, 3 ranks up to 6%. We have Pathfinder. Reduces the cooldown of Aspect of the Cheetah by 60 seconds. So this will be really useful. This will bring it down to 2 minutes, which is really nice to have. And then lastly, we have Pack Leader here. 3 ranks, increases the damage dealt by Kill Command by 5%. So that'll be up to 15%, synergizing with Jaws of Thunder, synergizing with Spirit Bond, and then synergizing with Master Beast, allowing your second pet to also do Kill Command. That's a lot of damage output going through. So, I have not forgotten the last ability here. It is Surge of the Storm God. When you use multi-shot, Titan Strike has a chance to discharge an electric current at your pet's location, causing explosions of electricity that deal 18,000 nature damage to all nearby enemies. So, that's your pet's location. I'm not quite sure if it says Dire Beast. In other notifications, it actually says Dire Beast. In this, it doesn't. So I'm assuming this only applies to Hati and my wolf here. With that being said, this is a very tiny electrical explosion that appears around the pet. It is like maybe a 5-yard radius visually that it looks like. I don't know how big the radius is actually, but it's got a visual radius of about 5 yards, and it's just a small little explosion around the pets that does damage. So, that is everything for the artifact weapon. The only thing that I forgot to tell you is I missed a new ability. As I was getting ready to wrap this up, I realized that there was an ability that I forgot to label and tell you guys, and it deals with Dire Beasts, and it makes it even more potent. It is called Wild Call. Your auto-shot critical strikes have a 20% chance to reset the cooldown on Dire Beast. As you can see down below, I actually have it activated, and that's because I just got a critical strike. And this is how you get multiple wild beasts up wild beasts. This is how you get multiple Dire Beasts up at a time, because they only last for 8 seconds, and a 10.8 second cooldown, you technically should only have 1 up at a time. Well, this allows you to have multiple Dire Beasts up. And I'm going to use Bestial Wrath, and you can see as I start to use Dire Beasts, you will actually see my Bestial Wrath cooldown begin to drop. And that is one of the great things about this. Once you get enough crit and haste, you're going to start reducing that Bestial Wrath. We're already at halfway done on the 1.5 minute cooldown. So you can see how it's possible for a Beast Mastery Hunter to have a very high uptime on their Bestial Wrath. So the nerfs that happened in terms of your pet damage from Bestial Wrath and the fact that you don't have the focus cost reduction is really made up for that buff that Dire Beast now reduces the cooldown on it, which is really cool. So, with that being said, that is everything for a Beast Mastery Hunter in terms of abilities and the artifact weapon Titan Strike. I know this was long, but there was really a lot to get to try and explain where Blizzard is going with this and what they intend to do. I will say one of the coolest things about this, maybe I can find one out here, is that you can eventually change what Hati looks like. As you can see there, this person actually has changed Hati into a mechanical chicken, I believe. He has a mechanical chicken here called KFC. Ha ha ha. And then he's got Hati as a mechanical chicken down there, which is almost impossible to see, which would be really annoying if I was in PvP with that. But you can change Hati to be the same look as your pet, and then Hati's got all of his own personal looks that he may want to have as well. Here's a new looking pet as well. It looks pretty epic. So I will say, if you're a big fan of Collector of Beasts, World of Warcraft Legion will not disappoint you. I promise you that. So, that is everything for abilities and the artifact weapons. I'm sorry this video took so long. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the next video, we will go over talents, and we will look both PvE and PvP talents. So, with that, I'll see you guys later. Teal us out.